Our last speaker is Liu Fang, who hopefully is joining us from Dubai, I think, by technology. Liu Fang has participated in the compilation of the Chinese National Energy Administration's Solar Energy Development Plan for the 12th and 13th five-year plan periods, as well as the publication of 2020, 2030 and 2050 Chinese Solar Energy Development Roadmap. She's won the prestigious National Energy Administration Soft Science Research Achievements Award 4 times. As China's chief scientist, Liu led the National R&D Research Project Crystalline Silicon PV Module Recycling and Processed Package Technology and Equipment. She is also the EXCO and Chinese representative for the IEA's Task 1, Task 12, and the Clean Energy Education and Empowerment Initiative, and won the PVSEC 2019 Special International Award. So I hope the technology is going to be working. And the subject of the talk is Chinese PV recycling and circular economy status.
Okay, so let's begin. So it's Liu Fang from China, and now I'm in the Dubai in the COP28. So sorry I could not to physical participate in the conference. So now you know, it's very early in Dubai, so I'm in my hotel. So sorry I turned off my radio and share about the China PV recycle and circular economic status with you. And during the, you know, when I stayed in the COP28 in Dubai, it's because this year is very significant and important. We just in the pathway, in the middle point, things from the Paris, because it's had 7 years from Paris. And it's a point to see what we do and what we can do in the future next 7 years to 2030. And during my trip in the COP28, I heard many topics about the circular economic, especially based on the renewable energy. So today I will share some contents in the 3 parts. The first part is let's see the overall development of renewable energy in China. And in the last years, the total installed capacity of renewable energy power reached about 1.2 billion kilowatts, and the renewable energy generation reached 2.7 trillion kilowatts. And the PV do the big contribution, and at the end of the last year, in China, the accumulated of the PV is almost about 400 gigawatts. And in the last years, the new capacity in capacity installed in PV is about 87 gigawatts, and you can see the utility PV installed about 36 gigawatts, and the distributed PV installed about 51 gigawatts. And let's see in these years what happens. So in the first half of this year, the PV new installed reached about 78 gigawatts, and the new data at from January to the October, it already got the new capacity installed 129 gigawatts. And another data is very exciting. We do more accommodation of the renewable energy, electricity, and less curtailment. So the total accommodation utilization of the PV and other PV electricity reached about 98%. And how about this year's the new install capacity and accumulated. So at the beginning, the China PV industry have got the forecasting to reach about 120 gigawatts. But the middle of this year, they adjust the target to the 180 gigawatts. So let's see before the end of this year what happens. We think that it will at least reach the 150 gigawatts in this year's new install capacity in China of our PV. The second part, let's see the green supply chain, especially in PV industry. So now the China PV industry not only paying more attention about the efficiency, cost, price, and production capacity, also pay more attention about the green supply chain, eco-design, and green production, especially for the top company manufacturers. They encourage about the relationship between the upstream and downstream supplier. They together to improve the green performance by green supply management, green producer, and other effects. So about the green supply chain standards, at the beginning in PV industry, we still have no typical specific green supply chain standard. So we use the industry general green supply chain. And 2 years ago, the China PV got the specific green supply chain standards. And what's significant is in these years, we stepped in from the green supply chain also to consider about the carbon reduction systems. So that means we will step from the light green to deep green for the whole PV industry. And for the Ministry of the Industry and Information, it launched the Green Manufacture Pilot Programs. It's a national level pilot programs from 2017. So until now, it have the 7 years. Each year we have the green factory, green production, green supply chain. So the different pilot projects. And also, we have some third-party organizations, such as my organization, sponsored by the Industry and the Information Ministry of China. So we have the China Green Supply Chain Alliance to push the PV industry from the light green to deep green. Such a give the case about LONGi. So at the very beginning of the 2020, so LONGi is the first company in China to pronounce and release about the supply chain green partner empowerment programs. So that means they encouraged the upstream supply and downstream supplier together. I think now it's more than 150 companies together to promote the energy saving and emission reduction action of the supply partner. Okay, so we go to the third part about the PV recycling and circular economy in China. So first, I want to show that in this field that China used to use the IEA forecasting about the China end-of-life PV market, and this data is, I think, it's 6 years ago, and this years we do the new research about the domestic end-of-life PV market forecasting by my center. So first we collect the existing installed PV data from 2000 years. That means 23 years ago to now, and also we do the forecasting from now to 2050, the future installed data forecasting. Then we established the models models with the lifetime distribution, Vibel distribution, and the market supply A models. Then we got the final result, and I will show you later. So the first in this research, we have the two important models, which are the Weber distribution models and the market supply A models. And the Weber models is used to describe the module lifetime probability distribution. And the model contains the two important parameters. One is the scale parameters, we call it the alpha. So it indicates the average module lifetime. And the shape parameter beta. Beta is used to describe the different field scenario. And the market A model is used to calculate the amount of the waste. So this research have a very interesting thing. We consider about the climate zone. This project considered the important impact of the different climate zone on the life of the module, because according to the national standard of the classification of the environment condition, especially about the temperature and the humidity, China is divided into 7 climate zones, such as the frigid temperate zone, humid tropic zone, hot dry zone, and so on. By studying the typical research result of the PV module degradation in some typical climate zone, this project have obtained the distribution, the function of the module life with the contents of different climate zone. So we collect the 3 typical lifetime distribution, and one is a frigid zone, a frigid high altitude zone, such as in the Western China, in Tibet, Qinghai, such as the altitude is more than 4,000 meters, and another is a humid tropic zone. Another, the third one is put the typical zone. So the 6th Weber distribution model was developed with the 2 scenarios of the regular loss and the earlier loss. So let's see the results. We have we have forecasting the PV installation, and so we can see here we got the regular. The first scenario is a regular loss in 2030, 2040, and 2050 will reach the 1 million tons, 10 million tons, and 55 million tons. And if in the earlier loss scenario, it will reach about 4 million tons, 23 million tons, and 66 million tons, respectively. And from this result, it could be found that the data of this research is much higher than the data of the IEA prediction of the China end-of-life market in 2016, which is mainly due to the following 2 reasons. First, the lifetime of the module in this project is very lower than 3 years, which provided by the IEA research, because now we consider about the more rebuilding, restructuring. That means now the owner of the China PV utilization, they don't sometimes they will consider about they don't need to 25 years or 30 years of the whole line. Maybe in the 15 years or 10 years, if they could find the more high efficiency PV modules with a lower cost and the price, maybe they will rebuild them So that means the end of life module will become more earlier. And the second reason is China's circulated installed in 2050 is forecasting to be the very new data reach about 4,000 gigawatts, which is a value that has already very far exceed about the IEA's data of China PV installed square in 2016. So what's the reason that we got the very different research result compared with the IEA data 6 years ago? And the EcoPV Recycle Industry Development Center also have already released this research result last month about the new forecasting of the PV recycle market under the typical climate zone. And it's very interesting that last month I'm in Adelaide in Australia to have the IEA PVPS conference, and I talked with the task tail expert members, and such as American expert and the Japanese expert. All they are do some new forecasting research and maybe released some new results before the end of this year. So let's see about the new PV recycle policies released recently. In order to promote the PV recycling system, on August 17, the National Development and Reform Commission issued the guideline suggestion on promoting the recycle and the circulation of the end-of-life wind power and PV equipments. And this is the first guideline documentation for the PV recycling industry. That means the new market, the real market will come in. And as my introduction at the beginning of this presentation, I am the leaders of the National R&D project sponsored by the Ministry of Science and Technology in the 3 years ago. So we do the national R&D project to find which technical ways it's the most economic and green roadmap for the recycle and economics and circular economics. So we have already do many based work before the real market coming. But now in China, we think that from next year, the market is coming. So we need to do more preparation. So in these policies, we have the objective of the two phase by 2025. That means the EPR mechanism of the centralized wind power farm and the PV power station will basically established. So that means the EPR, which means about the it's a responser. It's a responser. It's a responsibility of. So that means who will pay? Who will be the responsibility of the recycle? During this year, we have the many workshop and many suggestion comments to the central government who will be such as the utility scale PV systems. Now the common suggestion is it's an owner. So it's not the PV module. It's an owner. Such its owner will be, because they are the modules. They have the modules, and they will be at the end of the life. They will be the responsible for the recycle. But don't means the owner will do it by themselves. It could be them by themselves. But also we have another options. They can to have the very professional recycle companies to deal with about that. Another one is by 2030, the recycling and the circulation technical system will be basically a development. So as I mentioned that the R&D project 3 years ago is a demonstration project, technical systems. When we stepped into the real market, the industries, the technical need to do more promotion. So let's see about the standards to promote the coming recycling market and the industry. The necessary support system also be proposed, including such as the LC methodology, standards, policy, and roadmap recommendation. And we have already established a standard system for recycling and end-of-life modules, sponsored by the China PV Industry Association. So we have the different parts, including the technical parts and the management parts. First, we should consider about the what kind of PV module should be recycled. So classification standards, and also we consider about the technical standard for the collection, storage, transportation, and then we consider about the component treatment and the recycle standard, a technical standard, and also we consider about after the recycle with some component maybe be reused and remanufacturing standard. So now we can see the 4 yellow one we already got published, and we still have the many standard just on the way on the road. That means we still have the long way to complete and to promote it. So I've introduced the different technical method about the PV recycle demonstration line in China. The first one is a mechanical method. This is accomplished in the North China and the Baoding city, as from the Inli company. And first it will removing the frame, then the hot knife, the important facility, the hot knife will separate the glass and PV film. Then they step into the breaking and sorting. So this line, it's about the capacity is about 13 megawatts per year, and the energy cost reached about 24 kilowatts per kilo. And the total module recovery quality recovery rate reached it's above the 99%, and we can see some elemental recovery rate such as silver and silicon and the copper, always above the 90%. Some is 97%. So please attention, this is a demonstration just on the demonstration lines. And when we step into the real marketing industries, the capacity is a real more larger than this demonstration line. Another one is a thermal chemical method. It's sponsored by the Jinko company in Eastern China, and this thermochemical treatment rate now is less than the 6 million pieces, and any consumption, energy consumption is less than the 27 kilowatts per kilowatt, and the quality recovery rate is much higher than 92%. And let's see the elemental recovering, the silver will above the 95%, and the silicon is above 96%, and the copper is about 98%. So after the 2 national R&D demonstration project, and more companies in China have already launched on PV recycle R&D and demonstration production line. And so I just list part of them, not only the Jinko and the Inli, and also the big owner, system integrator. It's a state investment company. It's a most larger. It's the biggest one, system integrator and the owner in not only in the world, in China, but also I think in the world. So also because we consider about the EPR, they also have prepared some technical method for the recycle. And also we can Changzhou Recycle, it's a facility companies. They focus on the mechanical method, and Shanghai Resolar Energy Technical companies. It's very interesting. I will introduce you later. So a case about the company, the PV recycle company called it the Resolar company. Let's see the first the process. First, they collect some waste from the power station. This is one hand. On the other hand, they also collect some waste from the manufacturer. So the transportation first, then they used the chemical way first to separate the cell and the glass. And the glass, with the further treatment, the glass could be reused and to the PV glass manufacturer again. And let's see the cell. The cell first, we can see here is a silver is not removed. So then they remove the silver. Then we got the silicon purification. Then we can see that they got the ingot again, wafer, and from the recycled material, they produced the new wafer, cell, and module. And about the wafer and the cell, they also got of course, they got some performance testing for the reuse. So this case show you that in China, our technology and the company is not only to closed in a recycle, but we stepped further for the reuse and the circular economics, because now when we see the price about the whole supply chain, sometimes the silicon is very high price. Maybe you think that it's very valuable or to do that, but now the silicon price is a go down sharp. So what's the other additional meanings to do such kind of work? Yes, they do, because this reduce the effects is not only to have the push about the lower cost of the this whole system cost, but also we can reduce or optimize about the carbon footprint of the new modules. So the last I will introduce that in IAPPS, I think 3 years ago, they published the DFR PV module guideline. It's that means the design for recycling PV module guideline from the IA International. And sorry. And now China PV industry pay more about the eco design. Also from these years, our centers also organized a big team from the cell, glass, module, frame, backsheet, and the silicon, and also package and transportation companies together, and to prepare the new research about the China design for recycling DFR PV modules, the guideline, and it will be, I think, the release at the beginning of next year. 2024. And the last page is our center have already published the white paper about the China PV recycle and circular economic from last year. So every year we will prepare and they published the white paper. So if you have interesting and we can share you the more information online in our website about the China the end of life, how to treatment and how to recycle and how to reuse it. Okay, so that's all from my presentation. Thanks. And because sorry, the schedule is delayed and I need to go to COP28. I have still some task on the meeting, so I need to go now. And thanks to give the opportunity to share the information about from China about the green supply chain, especially about the PV recycle. If you have the more questions, please contact with the conference organization, and from the email I will feedback to you as soon as possible. So thanks.